Welcome to the place where ancient wisdom meets modern struggle. In a world obsessed with validation, comparison, and fake confidence, true self-worth has become rare. But what if I told you that the Stoics, men like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, had already mastered the art of self-esteem and inner love centuries ago? Today, we uncover how to build unshakable confidence and real self-respect, not through hype, but through discipline, virtue, and self-awareness. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you're ready to reclaim your self-worth the Stoic way. Let's dive in.
Hello, and welcome to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're plunging into, a really fascinating connection. How ancient Stoic philosophy, it isn't just about old statues and serious faces.
Right.
But it's actually a powerful toolkit for building solid self-esteem and real self-love right now in our lives.
Absolutely. It's surprisingly practical.
We've gathered some really insightful sources, and our mission today is, to cut through the noise.
Yeah.
And pull out those key bits of wisdom that can genuinely change how you value yourself.
It's so important.
Because when you really get a handle on your own worth, everything shifts, doesn't it?
It really does. Your whole outlook.
You become more resilient, more capable, just more aligned with living a fulfilling life.
Exactly.
So we're going to explore how focusing on what's really in your control and, crucially, letting go of what isn't can unlock this deep inner peace.
And confidence too.
Yeah, and real confidence. Get ready to maybe rethink self-worth a bit.
And what's really fascinating here, looking at it through that Stoic lens, is that what we call self-esteem.
Yeah.
Well, it isn't about needing praise from others or, external validation.
That'd be lying about likes or followers.
Not at all. For the Stoics, your inherent worth, it wasn't something you had to earn or find in achievements.
Okay.
It was tied to your capacity for virtue. For a reason. It's recognizing that you, as a rational being, you possess this innate dignity.
Innate dignity, I like that.
Yeah. So healthy self-esteem, in this context, it comes from living aligned with your true nature, understanding your strengths, but also your weaknesses, and just constantly aiming for internal excellence.
Which is so different from that fragile self-worth built on comparing ourselves.
Exactly, or needing external approval. That just leads to self-doubt, fear of failure.
Yeah.
So this approach, it really highlights self-awareness as the critical first step.
You have to look inward first.
Reflecting on your own beliefs, your actions, to build an authentic, resilient sense of your own value.
And that leads us perfectly into this idea of self-love, which I think for many people, maybe you included, it can sound a bit like indulgence.
Or even selfishness, yeah. People worry about that.
Right. But our sources really emphasize that self-love, stoically speaking, it's not about ignoring others.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing your own inherent worth, like you said, and treating yourself with the same kindness, the same respect you give a good friend.
Valuing your own mind, your internal world.
Exactly. It's this fundamental practice of caring for your rational self.
And actually, far from being selfish, this kind of self-love, the kind born from self-respect and trying to be virtuous, it actually makes you better at connecting with people.
Right. It enhances your ability to support others.
It's the foundation for healthy relationships, really,
Right.
and it's non-negotiable for mental well-being.
Yeah, it fosters resilience, reduces anxiety.
It's not just a nice to have, a luxury, it's the bedrock.
The bedrock you build an empowered life on, ready to face challenges with, confidence.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it just makes so much sense that a philosophy this old, this robust, like Stoicism, would offer such practical, lasting guidance.
Yeah, it stood the test of time.
Totally. Stoicism started in Athens, way back early 3rd century BC. Zeno of Citium founded it.
Okay.
And its core idea, its insight, is that while we can't control external events, what happens to us,
Right.
we can control our judgments about them, our reactions, our character.
That's the famous dichotomy of control, isn't it?
Exactly. That's the cornerstone for inner peace and, crucially for our chat today, an unshakable sense of self.
Like Seneca, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah, think about them. They all dealt with serious adversity. And their teachings give us this powerful framework for, developing emotional strength, managing how we react, keeping calm inside no matter what life throws at us.
Okay, so let's unpack this with some actual Stoic principles. If Stoicism gives us this solid framework, how do we actually build that inner fortress, that self-worth?
Where do you start?
Yeah. What's the first brick the Stoics tell us to lay?
Well, our sources point to a practice that's often, maybe, misunderstood today. Stoic mindfulness.
Mindfulness, okay. But you hear that everywhere now.
Right, but this is prosocial. It's different. It's not just about, breathing deeply or noticing your toast.
Right.
The Stoics took it much further. Prosocial is about relentless, active self-scrutiny.
Relentless. Wow.
Yeah, like a constant guarding of your judgments, your first impressions of things. It's almost like a militant self-awareness.
Militant.
Designed to stop your emotions getting hijacked by events or, irrational thoughts.
So it's proactive.
Very. By cultivating this intense vigilance, you start recognizing those negative patterns that mess with your well-being. You observe your thoughts without immediately buying into them, without judgment. And that creates the space you need to challenge them, to reframe the negativity.
That space sounds crucial.
It is. It's foundational for personal growth, for emotional resilience. It helps you take back control of your inner world.
Okay, so if we're actively guarding our minds like that,
Yeah.
this raises an important question. What else should we be letting go of then?
Good question. That brings us right to the Stoic concept of embracing impermanence.
Impermanence. Change.
Right, but again, it's deeper than just nodding along that change happens.
Okay.
The Stoics push this hard with practices like memento mori.
Remember, you must die. Sounds a bit grim.
It can sound grim, yeah, but it's actually about reminding themselves constantly that everything is transient. Our lives, sure, but also our possessions, our relationships, even our feelings.
Everything fades.
Exactly. And accepting that reality, really internalizing it, drastically cuts down on anxiety and fear about uncertainty or loss.
Because you're not clinging so tight.
Precisely. It frees you from being attached to specific outcomes or expectations, which paradoxically fosters a healthier mindset where your worth isn't tied to things staying the same.
That makes sense. Your value isn't in what you have, but in how you are.
You got it. It helps you focus your energy on what truly matters, your character, your internal state, by letting go of what you just can't control anyway.
So it's almost like a mental stress test for your peace of mind, isn't it?
That's a great way to put it.
If we can think about loss and still find value right here, right now, that's incredibly powerful. And that brings us to something else, something that sounds familiar, but again, seems to have a unique Stoic flavor. Cultivating gratitude.
Yes, gratitude, but not just a fleeting thanks.
Right, not just counting blessings, you mean.
Well, yes, but the Stoics often practice something called negative visualization.
Negative visualization. That sounds counterintuitive for gratitude.
It does, but instead of just thinking, oh, I'm grateful for my health, they'd actively imagine losing it.
Wow.
Or losing their home or loved ones. Marcus Aurelius wrote about cherishing what we have precisely because we know it could be gone in an instant.
So appreciating it more intensely because it's fragile.
Exactly. By shifting your focus from what you don't have to what you do have right now, and truly appreciating its impermanent nature, you cultivate this profound sense of abundance.
An abundance mindset, yeah.
Which deepens your contentment, your joy. And that, in turn, helps you see your own inherent worth more clearly. It reinforces a positive self-image.
So the link between that kind of deep Stoic gratitude and self-esteem is...
It's really clear. As you acknowledge how precious your blessings are, you develop a deeper appreciation for yourself, too, as someone capable of having and valuing these experiences.
Okay. Valuing what we have. And that appreciation, I guess it extends to valuing our own space, our own energy, too.
Absolutely. Which brings us neatly to another critical Stoic practice for self-worth, setting healthy boundaries.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
Okay, how does that fit with the Stoic view?
Well, think about the dichotomy of control again. If we truly embrace that, focusing on what we can control, like our actions, responses, values, it naturally leads to defining what's acceptable and what isn't in how we interact with the world and with others.
So boundaries protect our inner state.
Exactly. They protect your emotional well-being. They let you prioritize your own needs, your feelings, which reduces stress and anxiety. When you set clear limits, you're basically creating a safe space for your internal world.
And you have to actually communicate them.
Yes. Identifying and communicating your needs is vital. It's an act of self-respect.
Right.
And it fosters mutual respect with others. This practice, it doesn't just boost your self-worth, it empowers you to advocate for yourself.
So your relationships become based on respect and care.
Instead of just reacting to external demands that dictate how you feel inside.
I think for a lot of people, though, setting boundaries can sometimes feel well, maybe a little selfish.
That's a common concern, definitely.
Especially if you're trying to be empathetic, compassionate. How do the Stoics handle that tension? How do we make sure it doesn't seem cold or unfeeling?
That's a really vital question. For the Stoics, setting boundaries isn't about being unfeeling at all. It's actually about preserving your ability to act virtuously.
Okay, preserving your ability. How so?
Well, if you constantly let yourself get overwhelmed or drained by others' demands, things that are ultimately outside your control, you actually compromise your own capacity to respond with reason, with kindness, to contribute effectively when it truly matters.
So it's like protecting your resources so you can be helpful.
Exactly. It's protecting your inner citadel so you can actually choose to be compassionate and helpful from a place of strength rather than just being perpetually reactive and maybe resentful.
Okay, that reframes it beautifully. It's self-preservation for virtue, not just self-indulgence.
Precisely.
And that clarity, that brings us to our final principle, practicing self-compassion.
Self-compassion.
Now, the Stoic take on this might surprise some people, right? Because it's not about just letting yourself off the hook for everything.
No, it's not about lowering standards or making excuses. It's more rational than that.
How so?
It emphasizes treating yourself with the same understanding, the same kindness you'd extend to any other rational human being, especially when things are tough or when you mess up.
Recognizing we're all fallible.
Exactly. We all make mistakes. Accepting that allows you to cultivate a more forgiving attitude towards yourself. It's essential to challenge that harsh, negative self-talk.
Oh yeah, the inner critic.
That inner critic. But not by just ignoring it, by reframing it, turning that harsh criticism into a supportive, rational dialogue.
Like a Stoic philosopher advising a student, maybe?
That's a perfect analogy. It's not about coddling yourself. It's about applying reason to your own imperfections, seeing them as, well, opportunities for growth.
Learning opportunities instead of failures.
Right. When you practice self-compassion this way, this rational way, you build resilience. Setbacks become lessons. You face future challenges with more confidence.
So by embracing your imperfections rationally and offering yourself that compassionate perspective,
you create this nurturing internal environment, one that actually promotes growth and genuine self-acceptance.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, what does this mean for you, the listener?
Yeah, what's the takeaway?
In summary, we've taken a pretty deep dive into how Stoic philosophy can profoundly impact your self-esteem, your self-love.
It really offers a robust path.
By truly embracing these principles, like vigilant prosos, that Stoic mindfulness, contemplating impermanence with memento mori, cultivating that deep gratitude, maybe through negative visualization,
right,
setting those healthy, rational boundaries based on the dichotomy of control,
crucial,
and practicing self-compassion as a rational act of self-improvement.
Right.
You can absolutely build a healthier self-image and really unshakable emotional resilience.
It's a toolkit for inner strength.
Remember that the practical steps, things like actively challenging that negative self-talk, setting those boundaries consistently, daily reflection on what you truly value. These are powerful ways to bring these ancient teachings into your life today.
They really work.
As you embark on this journey, this path of personal growth, just remember, every small effort you make to align with your rational, virtuous self, that's a step towards real, authentic self-worth.
And connecting this back to the bigger picture, considering how Stoicism really empowers us to lead more fulfilling lives, it brings up an important question for you to think about.
Okay.
If embracing our inherent worth through these kinds of ancient practices fundamentally changes our relationship with ourselves, what profound shifts might we start to see in our families, maybe our communities, even our global connections? If each one of us really committed to prioritizing this internal, unshakable self-love,